Hey guys, so we are back again with another reading. I am so excited to do this one for you guys. It is going to be where should you live in or move to? So it could be moving across town or moving across the country or even the world. We're going to see what Spirit has to say about like the ideal environment for you to be thriving in. So I'm not sure exactly what they're going to talk about, whether that's, it could be the kind of place you should move into, whether that's like a big house or a small apartment or a city or rural or maybe, the desert or by the water or in the woods, anything, Spirit has to say, that's what we will be talking about. So this is where you should move to, the best living situation for you. So with that being said, I also am totally obsessed with the food we got today. It is burgers. I love when we get to do more of like this fun savory stuff, even though I love our cakes as well. So we are going to start from number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. So this first one is kind of like your traditional burger situation. You can see it has like a beef bun or a beef burger and then just kind of the, traditional bun. I don't know what that stuff is on the top. And then there's lettuce and also a ketchup mayo situation. I have ketchup and mayo on my fries all the time, but never had it in a burger, but it does sound good. This one to me looks like kind of like a breakfast sandwich. It's got a sesame seed bun and then some egg on the inside with lettuce, ketchup, and mayo. This one is kind of an interesting one. It looks to me like it's egg and then that's like a shrimp, if you can see. So yeah, kind of an interesting combo. If anyone has had that, let me know. It does sound kind of good now that it's mentioned, although I never would have thought of that. And then finally, number 4 is going to be, again, the beef burger. This one has a lot more mayo on it and it has a sesame seed bun. So hopefully one is already sticking out to you and already calling your name. Definitely go with that. Again, I always say during these food readings, you're gonna pick it the same way you would pick a crystal reading. So don't necessarily go with the one that, you would order off the menu. I mean, maybe if you have like a message from your spirit guides of like, every time I see XYZ food, then I know that's the one for me, then, that's totally fine. But I don't know in this case whether it be like egg and shrimp combo. I don't know if that's your thing, but you're definitely gonna go with like your intuitive vibe of which one is just pulling you in and calling your name, not necessarily the flavor combo that you would gravitate to, although that's fine if that's the one you go with. So if you guys need more time to decide, feel free to rewind and pause and take as much time as you need, but let's go ahead and jump into pile 1. Hey pile 1, so if you guys picked this traditional burger situation, this is going to be your reading. It looks really, really good. This would definitely be a great thing to order in a restaurant, but let's get into your reading. I pre-pulled your cards. So they are the Page of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, the 4 of Cups, the 6 of Cups, the 7 of Cups, the 10 of Swords, the the Strength card, the Hermit card, the Hierophant, and the 3 of Cups. So I feel like, first of all, the energy I'm sensing is that you guys have been through a lot. Like you guys with the 10 of Swords have just been through it. I don't know what it is. For some of you, it's going to be different, but I just feel like you guys need this time to like rest and rejuvenate and get back to yourselves. I feel like you guys have just been going through a lot of strife, a lot of difficulty, and now it's like you need time to kind of regroup, to kind of find your energy, to kind of build your strength back. With the Hermit card and Strength, I just feel like you guys need time alone to build back that energy. You guys have had to be fighting this battle for a really long time, and now it's like you need some space for yourself. I feel like you guys just need space to like think and breathe. We got so many cards like the 4 of Cups and the 7 of Cups that I associate with meditation or with psychic ability or just with like spending time alone, and I feel like you guys just need that. You need those moments to yourself yourself, where you guys are able to just, it's almost like I'm hearing like that you need to hear your own breathing. Maybe you live in a really loud environment, or there's always people running around, or you live in a loud street or apartment complex or something where there's always outside noise. But I feel like you guys just haven't had that time to yourself to really think and breathe. And like, even if someone was like, well, try meditating, it's like, you know, 2 seconds into it, there's like loud noises all the time. And it's really hard for you to really find those moments where you can truly check in with your energy. And I would love to see you guys in that kind of a living environment where you're able to spend those moments alone. I'm also seeing a lot of water energy here with the Page of Cups, the 4 of Cups, the 6 of Cups, the 7 of Cups. I mean, the 3 of Cups, there's so much water here. So I'm feeling like, and there's a lot of water on the cards. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, it would be really great if you could somehow live near water. So live near a beach, a lake, anything like that. And some of the other cards we got also related to it. And actually, speaking of that, right before I filmed this reading, I was having a really hard time propping up the camera because of how big the burgers were to film or to like arrange, and my camera kept falling over. So finally I was like, well, let me get a book to prop it up. And I grabbed a random book, and as I was pulling the cards, I look over and it is The Sea by John Banville. I have not read this book. It was just laying around, but I was like, what the heck? What are the odds of that? Because at this point I'd already pre-pulled a bunch of cards and could kind of see the direction it was heading, but like I was so shocked, like Spirit is not playing around. So I don't know if any of you guys have read this book, John Banville, The Sea. Let me know if you have, but I just feel like being near water would be really rejuvenating for you guys in some way, whether that is a sea or ocean, saltwater body, or maybe like a lake, river. I just feel like you guys need a moment in nature. You need to be able to have those quiet moments, like maybe sipping your morning coffee and looking out on, you know, some waves rippling on the coast. Something like that would be really amazing for you guys. If that's a financial possibility at all, I feel like that would be something that would really rejuvenate you guys and really bring you guys back to your center, because it's almost like you guys have been fighting for so long. You're like a soldier that's been in the war for, you know, 10 years, and they just are kind of like out of strength at this point. So I feel like that, having that space to yourself where you can just kind of rejuvenate, relax. Like I feel like also some of you guys, you're just givers. You guys give to so many people, and it's almost like some of those people have taken advantage of that. And I feel like a lot of people also may kind of, I don't know, look out, or like almost like they're watching you or keeping track of you. Like they kind of always want to know what you're up to, or, you know, may kind of just monitor you in a weird way. Like if you live with people, I feel like they may be the type of people that, even though it's so stupid, they always keep track of like how much food you've eaten of your own food. You know what I mean? And they might make a comment like, oh, wow, you really ate a lot of those cornflakes or something, you know, or you ate those really fast. And you're like, why are you watching how much cornflakes I eat? Like, I feel like that might not resonate for everyone. I'm getting that's only a message for some people. But for some of you, I feel like there's this energy where like you guys have felt like you just are on display for so long, and you need this time to yourself where you're just kind of by yourself. We also have the 6 of Cups, which has to do with like childhood. And I feel like you guys would have a lot of inner healing of the inner child, and just like it's almost like there may, for some of you, you may feel like you've almost lost a piece of yourself. You know what I mean? Like it's been so stressful for so long that you feel like you've lost hope, or like you've become this person you don't recognize because you're so serious now, or you're so like you've just been through it. You feel like you have all these scars, like you'll never go back to the joyful, free-spirited person you were as a child. But I'm hearing that's not true, that you guys just need to have this own space and be removed from some of the negativity. And it's like then you will truly be back to this joyful, happy person with the 3 of Cups, which is a celebratory cup as well. But this is something you guys need to like actively pursue with the Page of Cups. I feel like sometimes you guys, and this is a very watery thing to do, can be kind of like, oh, I don't know what to do. I can't. But like, this is something you really need to like take the bull by the horns and be very Queen of Pentacles and be very organized. Like, okay, I'm going to file, I'm going to apply. Some of you guys may have like fears of like, I don't want to apply for my credit score, or I have a really bad rental history or something. And so I'm hearing from Spirit that like, if you guys do take the time to apply, that Spirit will make it easier for you guys and kind of like grease the wheels a little bit, where like there may be a moment where, you know, maybe you do have some bad mark on your rental history of some kind. Maybe like, I don't know, you have a past unpaid bill that was like small, but you know, anyway, something that you're like, oh God, I really don't want them to notice that. And I feel like if if there is something like that, that Spirit would like magically make it so that, you know, the person who's working in the office that day is distracted and doesn't see that, you know what I mean? Or is like, well, we just really haven't had any other applicants, and so we'll just approve this person. Even if maybe there were other applicants, but like they somehow lost their application, like it didn't go through online or something. You know what I mean? Like I feel like Spirit really wants this for you because you guys have been putting in the work so hard that I feel that Spirit is really going to get involved and really make this a much easier process for you than you would necessarily expect. So the other cards we got are Education, Metamorphosis, Deep Freeze, Wide Open, Mountain. Oh, that's the next deck that we haven't gotten to yet. But yeah, so in these decks, you can see again, there's this theme of water with Deep Freeze, Metamorphosis, and Education. Oh, and also, I guess this is water as well. She's standing on a rock. I didn't know that's what that was, but yeah, so lots of water again. So there's this theme of the ocean. If any of you guys have been considering moving to a place that has an ocean, there's obviously lots of countries. I think like most people are settled, like most countries have some kind of access to water. Obviously, you need water to live. So I feel like I read something that like most people live within a certain amount of distance to the water. Like it's actually not that rare. I feel like at least in the US, we sometimes think of like living close to the water as like this huge luxury, but like a lot of civilizations have had to be near the water. But if that's something you guys are considering, is a move somehow to the water or next to an ocean or a river or something like that, I feel like it would really benefit you. But I want it to be kind of like a peaceful environment, not so much like, you know, a high rise in the middle of like a super busy city that's near the water. Like I feel like it needs to be a little bit of a place where I keep seeing someone taking breaths, just like taking a deep breath. Like with Deep Freeze, that's really about kind of taking a pause, you know? And I feel like you guys need that. I feel like you guys are going to glow up so much from this period. I feel like Education is really interesting, the energy I'm getting from that, because I feel like, first of all, you guys have already been going through an education. You guys have already been going through it and learning so much. But you're going to learn even more in this new environment, but it's going to be so much easier. It's kind of like you guys were in class with like the meanest, nastiest teacher in school who would like hit you over the head with a ruler and stuff and like, you know, send you out into the hall every day or whatever. And now you're going to be learning so much, but with one of those awesome t-shirts that like makes learning fun. And you're like so excited to go to school, and like just the nicest teacher in school. And everyone's like, oh, you're so lucky you have class with her. That's going to be like the next level of education. And you'll be like learning the same, but it's just going to be so much easier when you're in this new environment. I feel like this is going to be the major key. I'm hearing that major key in like DJ Khaled's voice for you guys, where you guys are going to really glow up in this situation. And for many of you, you're going to move into Queen of Pentacles energy. If you guys are considering starting a business, or you guys have been working on something, but you're like, oh, I feel like a lot of you guys may have been very affected by your living situation. Some of you guys may be empaths, and a lot of you guys, because there's so much water here, may be water signs, so Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, or have that in your charts predominantly, because I feel like a lot of you guys are very empathic which is a beautiful gift, but it can be very difficult when you have to be around a lot of other people and you're absorbing their energy just like a sponge. And so if there's anyone with like a toxic energy, it's like, you know how you'll see like a sponge. I am so like careful about changing my sponges every couple weeks because I hate like a nasty sponge that smells like mildew and stuff, like, and it's just so gross to me. I did live with someone that like would never change their sponge. It's just the most disgusting thing ever. What's even the point in washing with like a dirty sponge? I don't get it. And that's the thing, is when you're an empath, it's like you become that dirty sponge that has picked up the energy of like some toxic person, even though you're not that way yourself. You're like that beautiful pure sponge right out of the bag, but then if you put it in like a rotten pile of trash, it's going to smell bad really quickly. And I'm not saying you guys smell bad. That maybe sounds really harsh, but I'm just saying that it's like, I feel like many of you may feel like, I feel some of you guys do a lot of self-questioning. There's like an element of self-doubt. There's an element of you beating yourselves up. Some of you guys may even like question yourselves of, do I have depression or anxiety or something? Which, you know, obviously I am not like diagnosing anyone, and this is not like clinical advice in any way, shape, or form. But I just feel like some of you guys may find that when you get removed from the environment you're in and you're in less of a stressful environment, that a lot of those issues just go away. Some of you guys may live with very gaslighting people that have made it very difficult for you to relax, to feel free, to feel like this lady just on top of this rock, just looking so free and so happy. Like, I feel like many of you guys have felt very trapped, and that may be contributing to some of these mental health things where you might not be that anxious. You might just be surrounded by people who, you know, gaslight you a lot. And so you're constantly having to question. It may be not that you have serious anxiety, but that your inner voice is screaming at you that like, oh, this person has bad intentions. And you're not anxious. You're picking up on a very real thing, you know, or you're not depressed. You're just sad that you're being treated bad, you know. And obviously I'm not telling anyone to, like, you know, if someone wants to go to therapy and get formal treatment or something, that's totally up to them. I'm not, you know, diagnosing or anything like that, but I just wanted to say that, like, I feel like when you get into this environment, you're going to be surprised by how much better you feel and how much your mental health improves. So with mountain coming through, for some of you guys, if you're not like a beach person, maybe you really gravitate towards the mountains or more like trees, green space like that. We also had mountains here on Strength and in the Queen of Pentacles as well, and in the 10 of Swords. So I feel like for some of you guys, it may also be like a house in the mountains, but it's definitely going to be someplace where you can just get away from it all, you know what I mean, and just have your own space. Mountain also in this card relates to trouble and hardship that kind of you have to just deal with and you have to overcome, like that Capricorn Saturn energy. And so I feel like that's what you guys have been going through and are starting to come out of. So we also got protection, come together, moderation, healing, flourish, and that's it for this deck. So yeah, I feel like there's going to be so much healing and you guys are going to flourish and really blossom. This is going to be such a beautiful time for you to really come into your own power and become the highest version of yourself. I feel like you guys will be really surprised at how much better you feel and how much better you do now that you're in this new environment. And again, on that card, she's surrounded by like water lilies. So I assume that's water as well. And then we have a lot of kind of like tree woodland scenes, which is the vast majority of this deck. But yeah, so like just getting into nature, I think is going to be so great for you guys. Also, moderation is really a card about like eating healthy and having more of a healthy lifestyle. So I feel like that may be something that happens to you guys where now that you're in a less stressful environment, you may find yourself just eating a lot better and not like stress eating, not being as, you know, like nervous and feeling like you need to like have chips or whatever. I feel like you guys are just going to feel a lot more relaxed and a lot more at ease in your new environment. I'm shuffling some more cards for you guys. Oh my God. And I just got dolphin. So yeah, I feel like we have a very clear message about you guys needing to go to the, like an ocean setting or some kind of river, water environment. So if that's something you guys have been at all thinking about or considering, I would definitely encourage you guys to move ahead with that, because I think that would be a really great idea. And we just got arrow. You are on the right path regarding some aspect of your life. So I think that's just confirmation from them. And we got whale. Oh my God. So another water sign. And we got wedge. Someone is trying to come between you and a friend or something you want. I do feel like for many of you, you might have people around you that are just kind of fake, dishonest. So that's something that you should maybe be aware of. We also got stork, news of a birth, but I associate or business opportunity. I associate storks with like the water. So again, just water energy for sure. And finally, let's get just a couple more. I just want to do one live shuffle. We got wishbone. A wish is granted. So I feel like this is just going to be a really positive environment for you guys. You guys are going to really come out of this. And it's funny, we got fly, a period of ill health, depression. So some of you guys may have been dealing with mental health issues or anxiety or something that, you know, has just been mentally troubling you. And I feel like this coming into this new environment and moving to the sea or moving into nature somehow will really help you guys be in a better situation. I'm also feeling like again, you don't necessarily, like if you can, you know, I know living by the sea or living by the water can be really much more expensive. So for some of you guys, maybe you do have to live in an apartment building, and I'm hearing that that is fine as long as it's more of a quiet environment, a quiet space, not something where, you know, there's like parties going on all night, or you're right above a bar, or you're in the middle of like a super big high rise. Because again, you guys are sensitive to energy. Like I remember that there was some story that went viral about this girl that accidentally moved into like a retirement home. Maybe something like that would be fine, you know, something that's just kind of calm, chilled out, like where you guys can just truly relax. I can see you guys drinking coffee in front of like the water and just kind of chilling and just beginning your day. And I do feel like it's going to bring in, for many of you, a new health environment where you're able to work out more, you're able to eat healthy because you're not under so much stress. So we also got action, which is more water, embracing, which is a stork, which we pulled over there, blessings, standstill, I think that's also a stork, openness, patience, I think that's a stork too. Wow. So wherever storks live, maybe that's the place to go. Simplicity, change, and enlightenment. So that one has a picture of a boat. And so we've got a boat, stork over some water, and more water here, water, water, water. So again, with this heavy water emphasis, and also I feel like for you guys having some kind of wide open skies, I feel like another important thing in this place you're moving to is that it should have like somewhat of a pretty view out your windows, or maybe you guys can look at the sky or look at some trees, you know, outside your window or something, or a view of the water. But there should be some kind of a view that you can look out onto where it's like, you're not just holed up inside of like a really tiny apartment with no view to the outside. I'm getting that like for you, having some access to light is going to be really important. We get a lot of energy from light. So, you know, I am like very obsessed with wearing SPF. So if that's, you know, your vibe as well, then that's totally cool. But it's just, you know, I feel like we should all have somewhat access to light where it's like a light-filled space, or some kind of being able to take a walk every day. Even if you do have your SPF on, just being around the light can really benefit us. And so I feel like that's going to help you guys in your healing process. We also got simplicity, change, and enlightenment. But I feel like with simplicity and change, it's just saying that like, I feel like they want you to go into a space where you can, again, it's just like relax and stand still. Like they just want you to kind of be able to be still, to chill, to not be high strung or worried about everything that's been going on in your life, because I feel like you guys have been dealing with so much. So other cards we got are Cave, Sanctuary, Tsunami, Wake Up Call, Fire, Passion, Spring Equinox, Rebirth, Full Moon Completion, Waterfall Effortless, River Movement, Lotus Flower Unfoldment, and Stone People Vigilance. So, I mean, not to like beat a dead horse, but water, 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 and water, and water. So again, this really strong emphasis, and this one's kind of like tropical. So I feel like, yeah, that Spirit is just letting you guys know that living near water, living in a beach or lake or some kind of a scenario like that would help you guys with your healing journey. I feel like you guys, the emphasis though is just finding a place that is like a sanctuary, like this little cave that's your own space. I would really love, I mean, obviously if you have like a partner or something or a family, you can't be like, bye, I'm just leaving you and I'm gonna go move in on my own. Like obviously if you are in a family or something, you might not have that option, you know, like if you're married with like kids and stuff. But I feel like for those of you who are single, you very well may want to live in your own like place, like not have a roommate, not have, you know, a lot of people close around you, just have your own space, your own energy. I feel like that is going to be so important to your growth, is just to have, I feel like some of you guys don't even know your own energy. You don't even know yourself because you spend so much time with other people's energy that you don't even get a glimpse of like what you really want, how you really feel on the inside. I think that's also why we got the Six of Cups, is it's just about kind of going back to who you are at your core, who you always were and always have been as a soul, not who you are now based on like, oh, I've been through this and I've been through that, but that's not really who you are at your very inner core. And I feel like Spirit wants to take you someplace where you can really rediscover yourself. I'm almost seeing like two people reintroducing themselves after a long time. Like I feel like you're gonna kind of meet your inner child, meet your inner self and be like, oh, I know you. Oh my God. I remember we used to hang out all the time. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be this really joyful process of inner rediscovery and inner like reacquainting yourself with what you like, what you want, instead of focusing on other people. Because I feel like a lot of you guys are givers who just give to other people and are so sweet and helpful to other people. And Spirit's like, no, now it's time for you to focus on yourself. Now it's time for you to really pay attention to your own energy and just what you want and your own interests. And I feel like you guys might be surprised. You might suddenly find that like you're really into like Broadway show tunes or something, or you know, some certain very obscure genre of movies, or like a very specific type of cooking. Like maybe you get into like vegan cooking or something and you become like an obsessively good vegan baker. You know what I mean? Obviously it doesn't have to be that. I just feel like there's going to be this super joyful rebirth process of you like, wow, I really love this. And like, it's like you're waking up and discovering your passion. And it's going to be like you majorly leveling up with full moon completion. Like this is a big, it's almost like a celebration for you, because you guys have been through so much and you guys have like taken so much. You guys have been so stoic and you have really been, you know, so like, you've dealt with all the stuff life has thrown at you, and even though you may not have liked it, you were like, okay, I gotta go through this, and you were very just stoic about it. And so Spirit is like, now it's time for you to kind of celebrate, like you passed the test, now it's time to have this reward. And so I feel like Spirit wants to get you into an environment where you can truly relax yourself and just really, you know, get into that vibe with rediscovering yourself. So Spirit, what kind of environment should pile one move to or live in? What kind of environment should pile one move to or live in? Oh my God, beach. I closed my eyes for this. I hope you guys could see. Sometimes people are like, oh, it's like, no, I am not. These are all. So yeah, I'm telling you guys, Spirit is not playing around. Apartment, Lots of light. Oh my God. I am not looking or pre-pulling or anything like that. Small space. Spirit, where should pile 1 move to? What does it say? Mountains. Okay, so we also talked about that. Where should pile 1 move to? Anything else? What do these say? I guess we'll do both. So we got relaxing and high energy. So I feel like maybe you guys will get, again, like there's this emphasis on you coming into your own energy, but it's going to be through relaxing, through being in a relaxing environment that you can like discover your energy. Because I feel like maybe a lot of you guys feel very depleted, feel very like, oh God, this is so hard. Like life is so hard. Everything is so tiring. And maybe you're just exhausted with stuff. And I feel like you guys will be surprised. Like I can see someone in my mind, I'm seeing someone like, you know, those like annoying people that wake up at 7 a.m. and they're like, yes, time to start the day. And they're just jumping out of bed and like guzzling a green juice and going for a run. I feel like that's going to be you guys in a good way. I'm joking when I say annoying because I feel like we all are like, damn, I wish I could do that. That looks so... You know, it looks like such a great lifestyle to have. And a few times in my life, I have moved into that energy and it is a great feeling. It just feels so positive. I feel like a lot of you guys, this is like, I feel like they are mentioning this health glow up that you guys are going to go through where maybe you guys really like to eat healthy. Like, I feel like you guys are so stressed out by this situation you're in and you don't even realize it. It's almost like it's become so normal to you. And when you get out of it and into this new environment, you're going to be like, I lived how? I did what? Like, you're not even going to believe that you were so stressed out and that was your day-to-day life, because your new life is going to be so much better. And you're going to, I feel like if you guys started a health kick now where you were like, okay, I'm going to wake up and make some juice, like green juice, or I'm going to, you know, make a really healthy smoothie and then I'm going to go for a run or do yoga in my, you know, living room, that like your roommates or whoever you're with, your family, whatever, they'd like make fun of it, or they'd be like, what are you doing? Or who do you think you are? Oh, you're trying yoga now? Oh, you think you're like a new age yoga person? Like they'd like make fun of it. So it's almost like you don't try at that stuff because you just know they're going to shoot it down. And you guys have been like so depleted by these people. Some of them may be energy vampires and stuff. And so I feel like, with this new environment, it's just going to be a complete glow up in life. You're going to have so much more energy and you're going to be like, damn, this is the person I always wanted to be and always had inside me. But it's like, I'm finally able to access it. So definitely water is the emphasis, beach vibes. I feel like, any kind of water situation. Let me pull one more card, Spirit. Can we get one more thing for pile 1? Oh, okay. We got 2. It says lots of rain and tropical. I was thinking tropical would come out because I was like getting that. So I don't know. Lots of places that are tropical have rain. So, you know, or near the water have rain. So again, for so many of you guys, water is key. If this is not a financial possibility for you guys right now, and you're just like, I would love to move here, but there is no way in heck the pocketbook is going to make that happen. You guys might think about starting to take saltwater baths. I do these regularly to clear my energy. And basically you dump a bunch of Epsom salts in the water. You can also add other herbs like hyssop or rue. You can Google some of those that will clear away negative energy. And I like to say Psalm 23 over the water 3 times as I'm putting the salt in. So if you guys are looking for a way to clear your energy, that is a great way to do it. And then you soak in the water and basically envision all the kind of dark negative energy soaking out of your body, just leaching out into the water. And then, you know, you drain the bath at the end and it all goes away. So if that's something that, you know, you're just not financially capable of making this happen right now, definitely take salt baths, because you guys have a very strong connection to water. I feel like you guys are the types to like dance in the rain, or just really you like, obviously everyone loves the beach, everyone loves water, but for you guys this is so strong. This is coming in like Spirit's just beating me over the head. I mean, they literally gave me this, and I swear, you guys, this is not a prop. I didn't have it like nearby. I literally went to like this pile of books, grabbed the top one, and it was this, and it was because my microphone kept getting knocked over. So Spirit was knocking over my, well, not my microphone, but my like tripod thing. But anyway, so Spirit was knocking over my tripod to give you guys this message. That's how strong they want you guys to get the message. So I feel like if you guys can make this happen in some kind of way, this would just be a huge, amazing portal into a new life for you guys. So I really hope this helped you guys. Please let me know if it resonated in the comments, and make sure to like and subscribe and turn on those notifications so you can find out as soon as I post. But I am sending you guys so much love and light, and maybe you guys can invite me to your beach house when it happens, because it seems like it's going to be a good time with all the celebratory cards. So I will see you guys in the next reading. Sending you love and light, guys. Bye. Hey, pile 2. So if you guys picked this egg breakfast sandwich situation, this is going to be your reading. It looks really good. It's definitely like a breakfast meal, I feel like. So if you guys are all about that, that is a great choice. Let's get into your reading, guys. So I got Justice. I got the Knight of Cups, I got the Two of Pentacles, the Chariot reversed, the Two of Cups reversed, the Knight of Wands, the King of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the King of Swords. So I feel like for you guys, there's an element of like intellectualism around you guys. So I feel like maybe you guys should move to a place where they might have that kind of a culture. I'm getting for many of you guys, it might be like some kind of a city environment, or, you know, one of those cities that has like beautiful architecture, maybe from a long time ago. You know, in America, that might be like an East Coast city that has like beautiful old buildings like Boston or Washington, D.C., or, you know, New York or something. Any place that was like built up a long time ago when they put way more effort into the buildings. But of course there are places like that all over the country and all over the world. You know, I'm getting kind of images of like European type towns with like beautiful old buildings or old architecture. But of course that could also be, you know, lots of places in Asia or Africa or wherever that fit that kind of definition. But it's definitely a place that has like a beautiful old culture, I feel like, and a lot of cultural activities and places to go and people to see, kind of like restaurants and bars and like museums, that kind of a thing. I feel like I'm just seeing like two columns, you know, like Greek columns, I guess, with, you know, like really ornate carvings and stuff like that. So I feel like you guys would do well in that kind of a city or in that kind of a place. And I feel like with the Knight of Wands and King of Wands coming out one after the other, that you guys are going to want to be kind of busy and living like a fast-paced lifestyle. And also with the Chariot, although it is reversed, but I feel like you guys are going to want to be living in a place. I'm hearing get after it. I'm hearing like someone who, you know, wakes up at 8 a.m. and like takes the subway to work and like, you know, goes and has maybe like a breakfast sandwich on the way to work, like grabs it and scarfs it down, you know what I mean? And is just like, has a really busy schedule, has things to do, and then like is at work all day, like really enjoys their job, and then afterwards meets with friends for drinks, and then maybe goes out to like an after party afterwards. Like I feel like you guys are just going to want to have that kind of like fast-paced lifestyle, I guess. So yeah, I feel like cities would fit that kind of a vibe, or just anything where you guys can be productive would be really good for you guys and keep yourself mentally stimulated, because I feel like you guys like that like go, go, go type of thing. Like maybe you guys get bored easily. Maybe you guys, when you are out in like the country, you're like, get me out of here. And you know, it's like one of those comedy shows where they take like the city dweller and take them out to the country, and they're just like, oh my God, I can't deal with these animals. Like maybe that's kind of a vibe you guys have, because I feel like you guys would just do well in like some kind of a fast-paced, quick environment. And you guys would do well. I also feel like a lot of you guys are going to be influenced by like a job. Like you guys, your well-being and the kind of like mental health or like mental well-being is going to be influenced by you guys having a job that keeps you engaged, that you enjoy. And again, that's like fast paced. Like I feel like you guys are just going to want to be kind of like active all the time. actively involved in different activities and just like, doing stuff like all the time. So we also got community, going forward, freedom, forgiveness, courage, simplicity, and change. So what's interesting to me about a lot of these is they show like the sky, like this one, that one, and that one is like a bird flying high in the air. So there's a lot of like height, and I could definitely see you guys living in some kind of like a high rise, maybe like a beautiful modern kind of apartment building. Or if you guys have been considering moving to the city, I feel like, or moving to a big city, I feel like that would be really good for you guys. You guys would enjoy that. You guys, I feel like, benefit from being around people. Maybe you feed off other people's energy and you get a charge out of that. And you enjoy, talking to the person you got your coffee with, and then walking down the street and passing people with cool fashion, and then, stopping into another shop to get like your favorite pastry, and then going to work and grabbing a newspaper, and you know what I mean? Like, you guys like that kind of a lifestyle, and I feel like that would fulfill you a lot. And I feel like it would help you like mentally to be, kind of like mentally occupied. Like, it's like you don't want to just be sitting in a hammock chilling. You want to be kind of that busy bee that's always like, I feel like a lot of you guys have a lot of natural energy. Some of you guys might be fire signs, Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. So some of you guys, I feel like just, it's like go, go, go. Like, you guys, you always want to be busy, always want to be doing something. You don't want to just sit around and like chill, like a Cancer, which is, kind of the homebody. Like, you don't want to be just like chilling all the time and relaxing and sleeping. You want to be out there doing things, moving forward, having action. And there's a lot of courage here that I think is really beautiful. Like, you guys have a very courageous attitude. Like, you're not afraid. You guys are not like, nervous about things. You guys are ready to kind of take on the world. And I love that. So it's like, I feel like, a skyscraper or something where you're up in the clouds, or something where you're in a building with a lot of other people would be a really great idea for you guys. So other cards we got, the 5 of Pentacles, the 3 of Swords, the Moon, and the 3 of Pentacles. So again, I feel like, again, like, this is such a great picture of the kind of like apartment that I would love to see you guys in. Like, this one actually looks like a kind of high-rise building up in the air where you can like see the city around you. I mean, maybe she just has a house that's shaped like that, but I feel like this looks like an apartment to me. And there's a lot of cards here that show like towers and buildings and stuff like that. So I feel like you guys, for a lot of you guys, like, being high up in an apartment may be a really great idea. I'm getting to my mind of when I stayed in this hotel once, and like the lady just randomly upgraded me to like the penthouse suite of like this really nice high-rise hotel. And she was so nice, like, to do that. Like, thank you guides and angels for setting that up randomly. And it was so cool just to be up in the clouds. Like, we were so high up, and it was just like you could see for miles around, and there was so much sunlight pouring in, and it was just like, I feel like it was just a really good view. I feel like that would be good for you guys, is just to have a good view where you can see outside, see clouds, see other buildings, look around. Like, that would help you guys a lot. Like, that would be, I feel like, I was surprised because I was like, oh yeah, I like being high up, but because she asked me, she was like, do you like being high up? And I was like, yeah, I love it. And then next thing I knew, she was like, you are in the penthouse. And I was like, oh my God. But I feel like I was shocked by how beautiful it was up there. And I felt so peaceful. Like, I literally felt like I was up in a cloud. And I feel like something like that would be great for you guys. Obviously, most of you probably can't go out and purchase like a penthouse suite in like a major city, because I'm sure that would be crazy expensive. But I feel like just being high up in some kind of a building is what's coming to mind. Like, height. You guys being in some apartment that's like up where you can have a beautiful view and look out on the streets around you, or look out on the land around you, I feel like would be a really great thing for you guys to be able to see out your window. And I feel like it would really help, I don't know, like you mentally. I could also see you guys living in a apartment that's filled with like books and filled with like intellectual stuff, maybe like intellectual posters, you know, like of I don't know, like old art museum exhibits from like the 1970s, or you know, obscure artists, or like old magazine covers or something. But I feel like there's this aspect of intellectualism and how you guys will decorate, and you guys would just really like feel very at home and comforted from being in a place with like maybe floor to ceiling bookshelves, or with being in a place with a lot of art or a lot of decorations that speak to your mind, you know, not just like that watery part of us that's like very like artistic in a very unconscious way and in a very like intuitive way, but more of like an intellectual decoration style. You know what I mean? Where like there's something to think about. It's not just like, oh, that's such a pretty picture, but it's more like, ooh, that's so interesting. And like, so this artist made that and it was based off of this. And then it was in contrast to what he did then in there. And then, you know what I mean? Like there's an intellectual aspect to what I'm seeing or what I'm feeling for your guys' decoration. So yeah, I feel like you guys having windows or some kind of a view, I'm seeing someone like just staring out the window, is going to be important and is going to be gratifying for you guys. So we also got go outside, wisdom reversed, lost and found, inner child, friendship, believe in magic, and hope. So I feel like, again, being around other people is going to be important for you guys. I do feel like you guys, like this is not the time for you guys in a way. I feel like you guys are supposed to kind of move to this place and like make mistakes and kind of live young, wild, and free. You know what I mean? Like there's this aspect of like, not everything is going to be perfect or like perfectly neat. There's going to be messiness. There's going to be some kind of like mistakes along the road, or heartbreak, or love, or you know, like all these different things are going to happen, but it's going to be so special. And that's why we came down to this planet, is to live. It's not all supposed to be perfect. Like, you know, that's why they make movies like Bubble Boy, where, you know, like a guy is inside a bubble. I think he had to do that for health reasons, but the whole point of that movie, I think, I don't know when I saw that, like a long time ago, so it's so bizarre that came to mind, but like I think it's Jake Gyllenhaal is trapped inside that bubble and he can't touch anything. And the point is like that is such a difficult life to live, because we're put on this planet to like experience things, the good and the bad, you know, all aspects of it. And so I feel like for you guys, this is really about going out there and fully investing yourself in the energy and experiencing it, and like having so many different things happen to you and just not hiding away. You guys have this inner core of strength where you guys can take more, where like someone else, like I keep getting like this contrast to water signs. Like I feel like we're no offense to water signs, I'm like a water dominant person, so I'm not insulting any of us. I'm just saying, like, I feel like us water signs would probably, like, we're so sensitive that we'd be like, I can't believe that happened, you know, and you guys will be just like, oh, okay, whatever. So anyway, on to the next. And so it's like this really positive thing where you guys are super strong and tough, and you can like take it. Like you guys are not afraid. You guys are not, you know, going to be totally destroyed if something bad happens to you. You guys have this inner core of strength that is with you guys, and so you don't need to worry about like, oh, what if that doesn't work out? Because I feel like you guys will just deal with it no matter what comes up. Like even if something horrible happened, like you got cockroaches or other aspects of city living, you guys would just find a way to deal with it and move on. And I'm not saying you guys are going to get cockroaches. I'm just trying to think of like worst case scenario things that could happen. I feel like you guys are just so tough and resilient, and that's part of your like journey on this earth, or your like purpose on this earth, is to be resilient and to teach people that like, so what if something bad happens? Like, you know what? We still woke up. We still have this beautiful day. And to inspire people to like be braver, like to inspire people that like you can go outside and like put yourself out there in the world, and we don't need to shy away. I feel like with wisdom reverse, that's kind of talking about like, you guys, this is not the time for you guys to be like super like meditating all the time and trying to figure out like your purpose. And even though that stuff is important, it's like part of life. And the stages we go through in life is just about sometimes just having fun and not overthinking and not understanding everything and not like combing through every reason or trying to figure out exactly what the outcome is going to be or how is it going to work out or what's going to happen or, you know, all the details. It's just about like jumping into the pool. Like I'm seeing, you know, an image of someone just like cannonballing into the pool. And then I'm seeing someone on the side of the pool who's like crying and shaking and kind of being like, oh, I'm so afraid. I'm so afraid of the water. And you guys are that example of the person that's just so brave, just cannonballing in, just no fear. And I feel like that's such a beautiful energy you guys have. And I feel like you guys are going to have all these cool kinds of experiences, like surprising fun experiences if you get into this urban environment because of that. Like, this is why I think, you know, being in like a rural area or something, it just would be like almost stifling. Like you're not going to have the variety of experiences that you want and that you need. I'm hearing you need it. Like you guys just get so bored if you're not kind of challenged. And so I feel like you need to be in a situation with like new people and, you know, different events and just, yeah, it's going to be like this whole overwhelming, total like life experience. So anyway, we got Wizard of Awareness, Listening Reverse, Encouragement, Into the Unknown, One Ring Circus, Home, Dry Desert, and Magic Prayer Reversed. So again, with this thing of like height, because we have the giraffe, we have this like up over the landscape. She is like, looks to be on some kind of a balcony. So I feel like I'm just feeling like there's a lot of like height at play. So again, like high rises or something like that. So we also got One Ring Circus, which I feel like talks about how you guys are just going to be really busy. You guys are just going to be really engaged. There's going to be a lot going on around you. There's going to be a lot of activity. You guys are going to be, you know, having like, I feel like drinks at, you know, 6 with one friend group, and then you're meeting another friend group at 7, and then you're going to dinner with them, and then you guys hit another bar afterwards, and then you go to someone's party. Like I feel like you guys are going to have that kind of a lifestyle, or that would be really good for you guys, where it's just like you want that kind of quick, fast-paced kind of life, you know? And with Into the Unknown, she's like blindfolded, but she looks so like brave about it, I feel like. There's also this aspect where I feel like a lot of you guys would like to be or will be exposed to like luxury. Like I feel like it would be fun for a lot of you guys to see kind of some of the old, like beautiful, like I was mentioning in the beginning, like the beautiful architecture of the kind of, I don't know, old world buildings that I keep seeing in my mind with like beautiful sculpture and like very intentional design. You guys would get such a kick out of like being inside those spaces. Maybe some of you guys grew up in an area where like you only saw those kinds of places on the TV and things were run down where you lived or something. But I feel like for you, it's going to be great to like actually be able to go inside, like these doors opening and seeing like, oh wow, this person has a beautiful living room or has beautiful art or something. So it's like there's this aspect of luxury that I feel like you guys are going to be really that's going to be really eye-opening for you guys. You guys are going to grow mentally a lot. There's going to be this thing of like overall enrichment and mental growth that happens when you're in a city with a lot of people, where you're exposed to all these different cultures, different people from different backgrounds that all have different stories. You guys are going to grow a lot from that and be like, wow, oh my God, like I never thought of this lifestyle, or I never thought of this culture. I didn't know anything about it, but wow, that's so cool, you know? So you guys are going to have so much mental growth and awareness that happens from being exposed to these different things. So finally we got fire, passion, lotus flower, unfoldment, clouds, shape-shifting, dream time, creation, music, harmony, dragonfly, emergence, wind activation, green man, synergy, and lightning power. So I think that's the second time, maybe third, we got music. So again, that's coming through really strong. There's this aspect of like you guys being in a very cultured area with like lots of art, lots of intellectualism, you know, where you guys will be exposed to like maybe like opera or rock music or like rock concerts or, you know, little indie bands coming to play or techno music in like nightclubs or something. But I feel like you guys are going to have your eyes open and your horizons broadened by this. This would be really good for you to be in an environment where you guys can, and I don't mean to keep talking about this is going to happen because this is supposed to be what would be a good environment for you guys, but for some reason Spirit keeps taking it through as like future tense what will happen, but this is just what I'm seeing as what would be the best for you guys. So I feel like any environment where you guys would be exposed or have access to like different nightclubs, restaurants, stuff like that, and it's going to just, you know, it's like there's so much to learn from traveling, meeting new people, from trying new restaurants, new cuisines, you know, like there's food that probably all of us thought like, oh, I'll never like that. And then you try it and you're like, this is amazing. Or why is everyone making such a big deal about like this type of food? And then you eat it and you're like, oh my God, it's so good. So I feel like there's so much like of you guys intellectually growing by being in these kinds of cities with a lot of different culture and a lot of different types of people from different places, and with just like access to history and culture and music and different cultural opportunities. And again, with the clouds, so again, I'm seeing like a high rise or something like that. And then we have a lot of cards that have to do with like power, fire, activation, emergence, creation. So I feel like this is just time for you to go into like that fire energy of like getting yourself out there. You know, it's like work hard, play hard kind of energy where you guys are just, or like no rest for the wicked, where you guys are going out there experiencing everything life has to offer. You guys aren't holding yourself back of like, oh, I could never, or I'm just going to stay inside tonight and curl up with my blanket. No, I'm not trying to make fun of that because that'd be probably more my vibe, but it's like I did have a time in my life like this that was so much fun. And so I feel like you guys are going to be, you know, having that bravery to just put yourself out there, like dance on tables and, you know, meet new people and like maybe flirt. And we did have the Two of Cups reversed, which to me says like maybe this is not the time for you guys to be like, yes, you will be searching for love, but it's not like, oh, I want to settle down and get married energy necessarily. Like you guys are supposed to be dating and meeting new people and having fun. Maybe some of you guys are in a relationship, which is totally fine. It will just resonate differently for everyone. But I feel like for so much of you, it's about experiencing everything, meeting new people, just opening your eyes and having all these kind of very fresh experiences. So let's pull some of these notes I made. They're super messy, by the way. I was just scribbling them before I started filming like really fast, so don't judge my handwriting. Spirit, where should pile 2 live? Where should pile 2 live? Urban. Oh my God. Okay, sometimes I get creeped out by like how accurate these things are. And no, I do not pull. I can't even see from my angle. And I have my eyes closed. Quiet. Okay. Where should pile 2 live? Lots of space. Where should pile 2 live? Where should pile 2 live? What is this? Old fashioned. Where should pile 2 live? High altitude. I remember, oh my God, that's so funny. I remember when I was writing that and I was like, what? High altitude? And I was thinking like, is that mountains? Is that going to come up for like someone should live in the mountains? And I was like, high altitude? Why would I write that? And I almost didn't write it because I was like, what is this? Like, I don't know, like that's like latitude, longitude. Like, are we gonna get that specific where we're talking about altitude? Like, I don't know. But then I felt spirit be like, put that in. So I was like, okay. And I feel like it now, I'm like, oh my God, the skyscrapers, that's what it relates to. And I also feel like that's another thing, is like maybe up there it'll be a lot more quiet. And there's something about like I said, when I had that little hotel room suite, when you look out, like it seems like you are out in the sky. Like, I don't know, even if the room isn't that huge, like you just feel like it's like infinity big, because you know, you look out the window, and we had like floor to ceiling windows, and it's like you literally feel like you could step out onto a cloud. Like, it was so cool to me. So I feel like you guys having a kind of like a high rise kind of a feeling would make you guys very happy. Like, I just keep getting that. But I feel like with old fashioned also, like there's this emphasis on you guys being around kind of like classical books, classical buildings, like old kind of cities that have been around for a long time. You know what I mean? Like, that have like old art and have museums and have like beautiful state houses and stuff like that, or capitol buildings, where, you know, there's just like inspiration. I feel like it would really inspire you guys, like artistically, to be around those kinds of buildings where you guys would just, you know, it just feels better to be around beauty, to be around beautiful things. Like, it just makes us happy. And so I feel like if you guys could live in a city that has kind of like ornate architecture and stuff like that, it would cheer you guys up. Is there anything else, Spirit? Mountains. Okay. Again, I feel like that does relate, since this has had so much to do with the high rise, and I keep getting that. I feel like that has to do again with the high rise. Like, you guys are just going to be really high up in the air. And yeah, I just think like city, I keep getting city. And I also feel like mountains has to do a lot of times the cards with like those periods where you're working a lot, where you're kind of grinding. And I honestly get that for you guys. That may not sound like it's going to be, you know, a walk in the park, but I feel like you guys are going to enjoy that process so much of just working and, you know, having this intensity to life. It's all like you guys are going to really live life. You guys are not going to be sitting around watching TV or playing video games and just kind of like, well, whatever. Like, you guys are going to have a packed schedule and always have stuff to do and people you're meeting, and you're really going to be in the thick of it. Like life, you're going to be really living your life to the fullest and not just sitting by and letting it pass. So yeah, that's kind of what I see for you guys. Let me get one final card for pile 2. Where should pile 2 live? So we got scales. We got archway, which to me, that is a kind of like brick, which there's not a lot of brick in these things. So I'm taking that again as confirmation that, you know, it's like an urban setting. And I feel like also, you know, like some of those old brick buildings that are really pretty from the olden times, I guess. Grasshopper. So I feel like grasshoppers are I can't talk. Grasshoppers are always working, and I just feel like you guys are going to be busy. Like, you guys are going, I think grasshoppers work, right? I don't know. That's what I heard. So I feel like you guys are going to be busy. That's what Spirit is bringing to mind, is just like this busyness. You guys, like waking up and really going for it. You know what I mean? And with scales, I keep getting visions of like courthouses, or, you know, you guys really just kind of going and being around these old beautiful buildings that were like carved out of marble and stuff. So yeah, I think you guys should do really well in any kind of an urban setting like that. I'm also seeing kind of like old European style you know, towns kind of like from Harry Potter and stuff like that. So if any of you guys have considered moving to any kind of urban setting or place like that, I feel like that would be really fantastic for you guys. And there would be a lot of personal growth and just a lot of like learning so much. And I feel like it would just be like your eyes opening and like, wow, I didn't know this, you know, kind of culture existed. And you guys really glowing up and becoming more of a like kind of intelligent person, more knowledgeable, more culturally aware, and it would just be a lot of great growth. And you guys also would just love that because you're naturally intelligent, naturally curious. So you already have that going, and then this urban environment would just help you guys like level up in that arena. So I really hope that helped you guys. Please let me know if it did. Let me know if it resonated in the comments. I love hearing your stories. So please make sure to drop a comment and let me know what you thought. And yeah, I am sending you guys so much love and light, and I will see you guys in the next reading. Take care, guys. Bye. Hello, my lovely pile 3. So if you guys picked this shrimp egg sandwich, this is going to be your reading. It's a little, unexpected of a pairing, but I think like I've had it in fried rice before. Obviously they put shrimp with egg and it tastes really good. So yeah, it's probably pretty good on a sandwich, and also there's lots of mayo. So that probably makes everything better. I don't know if you guys can see it, but anyway, let's get right into your reading, guys. You picked some interesting cards. So we got the 9 of Pentacles, the World, the Empress, the 7 of Cups, Judgment. We got the 3 of Pentacles, the Moon, the 9 of Wands, the 6 of Pentacles, and the 10 of Cups. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, this might be moving into like your own space. Like it might be really important for you guys to have kind of like your own castle. So more of like a house, not so much an apartment. With honestly, with like the 9 of Pentacles and the Empress, I feel like for many of you guys, it might be like a luxurious type of situation. I don't know if everyone can afford that, but that's kind of what's coming through, is like that it would be really good for you guys to be in a situation where you are very much in control, and where it's like everything is kind of how you like it. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that would just do a lot for you guys mentally if you are in a place where it's almost like, like you have one of those machines that like opens the blinds of the window, or where you guys have a like a very luxurious like set of curtains or type of rug, or everything's decorated really well. I feel like that would really help you guys mentally, and it would just do a lot for you. Like maybe you guys have been trying to manifest that, or maybe you have like a north node in the 2nd house or something, where one of your destinies, or in Taurus, is to like earn money. But I feel like it would just bring a lot to you guys to have that kind of a place that's like luxurious, really beautiful, really like probably pretty neat, really impeccably done. So I do feel like there's like this luxury component to how you guys are supposed to be living. So with that being said, other cards we pulled are the Magical Shapeshifter, Gentle Gardener, Details, Wide Open, Sad Embrace, and Magic Stream. So for some of you guys, there might be like a water component with Magic Stream and Wide Open. I feel like you guys may be supposed to be living in near some kind of body of water, or have like water features in your house, maybe like a fountain or something. I also feel like for others of you, this is just going to be about you guys having like a really well made kind of house. Like I feel like you guys are not the type to be okay with one of those fixer upper places with like no appliances or really run down or whatever. You guys just would not be cool with it. Like it would not be serving your highest self to live in a place like that. So anytime you guys can get to a place that has more of the modern stuff, like all the details taken care of, I feel like it would just help you guys. Some of you guys, I feel like, are leaving behind like a painful situation, or you guys have been going through it, and it's almost like you need this little sanctuary, you need this like respite to kind of like regain your strength. And you shouldn't be like being stressed out about like this appliance didn't work, or like, oh my god, I have to hand wash all my clothes or something like that. Obviously it's going to depend on everyone in their situation, but I feel like if you guys could have some of those basics kind of taken care of for you, that would like help you guys in your growth, in your life path, and all of that. So I feel like there's this aspect of the luxury somehow like helps you guys benefit, and also having like a lot of your own space with wide open. I feel like a lot of you guys, you may want to move to a place where you can just have like a large house. It may be like you're moving out to the suburbs or something rural, in like a very rural, out of the middle of nowhere type of area, but it's like you guys need to kind of spread your wings and be able to like spread out. For some of you guys, it's going to involve like a lot of travel with the World card. It may be that you guys don't want to like settle down right now. You guys still want to be kind of out there exploring and visiting and going from place to place, you know what I mean? I also feel like for some of you with Gentle Gardener, this garden is going to be really important. I just feel like you guys, it's almost like you need your own space. You need to have your own like world. You need to have your own environment. Some of you guys may even have some kind of traumas or fears or like anxiety issues because maybe, you know, someone did something to you in the past, and it's kind of like you need to have that feeling of security of like, oh, I know I am safe. So like a big city, I feel like wouldn't work as well for you guys. Like I feel like you guys would be much better off in a place where you can spread your wings, spread out, like, you know, feel safe and not feel like you're in like a tiny little small apartment or something like that. So other cards we got, the 8 of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, the 7 of Wands, the 9 of Swords, Balance, the Sun, the 10 of Cups, and the King of Fire. So again, like, see how this guy is in like this big room. I feel like you guys need like a bedroom like that with like a king size bed with like really nice curtains. Like I feel like you guys are going to be the type where your living environment really affects your mood. And I'm not just talking about like the energy or like, you know, oh, like I love hearing the sound of water and there's a river outside. I'm talking about like, if you guys have ugly curtains, it'll like annoy you. You know what I mean? Like you guys need to have things on point. Things need to be done to your liking, and it needs to be done right. Like some of you guys may be very strong Venus energy. So like a Libra or a Taurus, or Jupiter conjunct Venus, or Venus in the 2nd house, or Venus in the 4th house, or Jupiter in the 4th house, or something like that, where you guys are like a moon, a Taurus moon or something, where I feel like you guys are affected by like the type of environment you're in and the type of material stuff around you. Like you don't want to be around shoddy stuff and like, oh, sorry, there's not really curtains, and like, yeah, the bathroom's renovated. It was renovated in like, you know, 1975, and it's like, the tiles are kind of molding and like some of the baseboards are rotted, but oh well. Like you guys would not be okay in that kind of environment. You guys need to have it like updated, nice, clean, and that really does affect you. And that's nothing you guys should feel bad about. Like sometimes people might make you feel like, well, like, oh, so you're so bougie or whatever. It's like, well, yeah, I actually am. I'm very bougie and I don't like this and I'm not going to tolerate it. So, you know, Spirit is just saying that like you should know this and own this about yourself and not feel bad or weird about it, or not feel like you have to hide this. I mean, I love the Empress energy, and so you guys should be glad that you're exuding this kind of Empress high-end type of energy. And I feel like you guys will also do a really good job of keeping it clean, keeping it organized. I feel like you guys are the type to, I'm almost seeing someone like making an Instagram post of them making like a smoothie or something in like a perfectly high-end kitchen with like really clean marble countertops and, you know, a really high-end blender, and everything is like top of the line. Like I feel like that's your vibe, where you guys just are not going to be that person posting from like a tiny little shoebox apartment. Even if you had one, it would be like really beautifully made, really everything is like exquisitely designed and everything looks amazing, and people are like, oh my god, that's such a pretty apartment, it's so cute. But I really feel like spreading out and having more space is going to benefit you guys. You guys may like try to move into an apartment or a really small space, but honestly, it's not going to be for your highest good, your highest purpose. I also love this card because to me, she looks like a fairy tale princess. And I feel like that's the kind of like environment Spirit is saying that you guys would do well in. I know that like probably that's not a financial reality for most of us, but also, that card came out right after the Ace of Pentacles, and that's like a mansion. I mean, obviously, I don't know if everyone can afford a mansion who's doing my readings. I mean, if you all can, then you'll have to donate some money to me if this is like a group of millionaires. But I feel like, I'm just kidding, guys. But I feel like you guys, you know, if you can make like or make it happen where there is just like a beautiful house, at least where you have some space and then you can decorate with your own taste and style. Because again, I feel like you guys are really clean. Like even if it was a little old school or not super modern or not super updated, you would know kind of the finishing touches to put on it to make it really nice, to make it your kind of taste. And I feel like that is going to bring you a lot of satisfaction. Once you're in this kind of living environment, you're going to be like, whew, okay, I can relax. It's almost like you might be one of those people that when the bed isn't made or when there's a mess on the floor or when, you know, this is dysfunctional, you cannot relax. You can't be like cooking and enjoying yourself in a super messy kitchen with like, you know, food splattered on the counter that like no one mopped up and like, you know, dirty dishes in the sink. That is not your guys' vibe. So I feel like it will make you guys feel a lot more at ease if you can get into like your own house, your own space. And I could definitely see this being like out in the country and you guys having some kind of a garden situation, or maybe some of you guys living on the water and having like a beautiful thing to look out on, like a waterway or a lake or something. So other cards we got are forgiveness, thriving, success, flexibility, inner peace, wonders, purity, openness, and embracing. So I feel like for you guys, there is this theme of like success coming through and about you guys being in Empress, Nine of Pentacles energy. So it may be that you're trying to start a business or something and you need like the extra space to like have shipment or to, you know, I don't know, run your business from like an extra office in your house or something. But I feel like for you guys, having this kind of an environment is going to be key to your success and is going to open up financial doorways to you guys, and you guys are going to just be able to thrive a lot more and be able to be in your power a lot more because of it. So I feel like you guys just need some kind of a house where there's, you know, it's not like, okay, there's one bedroom or there's a studio or it's tiny or it's cramped. You guys need to be able to kind of literally stretch your arms out and have that extra space and have like a nice TV, a nice couch, a nice setup, you know, room for you to maybe do workout or exercises, room for you guys to cook. Like if you guys are considering making a move to more of a rural environment, or maybe you live in a city and you're considering moving out to the suburbs or something like that, and you're like, well, I don't know, like a lot of my friends live in the city, I feel like you guys should go for living out in somewhere a little more remote where you can get a little more space for your buck, you know, because I feel like you guys will just do super well when you have just more interior space, like, you know, that king size bed or room to have a king size bed or a big walk-in closet or something like that. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's really going to benefit you just to be able to walk around unencumbered. Like, you don't like cramped spaces and stuff. You don't like feeling like, oh, this doesn't really fit there. I have to like, okay, maybe if I move that there. You want to be able to really just kind of, you know, have your stuff organized exactly how you want it. And for that, you need space. And I feel like you guys are going to really, like, it's almost like any place you move into, any money you pour into it, you would make it back tenfold, because you will like improve the market value of any house you move into, because you'll be sprucing it up, putting in super nice like wallpaper or paint or whatever. And by the time you're ready to move out, it will be worth like twice as much, just because you guys have that beautiful like V cleanest touch for interiors and for home situations. Some of you guys may be considering being, I don't know, interior designers or organizers or something like that, where you work with houses, realtors. And I feel like that would be a great career path, because there's just this emphasis on you guys like having this natural touch for decoration, for making like a house a home. So we also got cave, sanctuary, tsunami, wake up call, island, solitude, wolf, instinct, Gaia, nurturing, fire, passion, autumnal equinox, release, lightning, power, and dragonfly, emergence. So I feel like you guys will just really enjoy having this kind of like sanctuary, this kind of tiny little space where only you guys, you know, and your like family can be. Like, you guys are going to, it's going to mean a lot to you to just have this place that's almost like your castle, you know, with island, solitude. I feel like maybe some of you guys have anxiety or stress issues where, you know, like you hear a random noise and it just freaks you out and you're like, oh my God, like what was that? And so I feel like you guys are going to benefit from being in a place where you know, like, this is my house, this is my spot. It's not like when you live in the city, you know, there's constantly like weird noise, people walking around, like, I don't know, just different things you have to deal with, you know, that can, like, if someone has anxiety issues, it can really stir that up. And I feel like with you guys are going to benefit from being in a place where that just doesn't happen, where it's just kind of like quiet. It's just kind of like your own spot and no one else will, you know, be intruding. And I feel like that's going to help you guys in all aspects of your life, help you guys manifest more, because it might be that sometimes you try to go into manifestation mode, you try to meditate, and then it's like your attention is taken off because, you know, you hear a noise from the street, or I don't know, like the garbage truck comes by or something. I feel like I would love to see you guys living in a place where you just don't have to deal with that. Obviously, everywhere is going to have a garbage truck and certain noises, but for the most part, I think if you could get to a place where, like, this is my space, no one else's, this is mine, and I have lots of room to spread my wings and maybe lots of land, I think that would be a really great thing. There was a few cards that have to do with water, but then we also got like autumnal equinox, which is in the woods, and this picture of the mountains. So I feel like for you guys, it just like having a little extra access to nature would be a really good thing. And I think that it's like, maybe sometimes I'm almost feeling like annoyed. I feel like sometimes maybe you guys get annoyed with like the day-to-day stuff that you have to deal with, or like rude people or whatever, or like the hassle of living in an urban environment. And I feel like it's going to mean a lot to you to just be away from that and not have to deal with like, oh my God, I'm stuck in traffic, or there's another way to the grocery store, like where you guys will again have your own space and relax. And then it's like, I have more mental energy to work on this project, or I have way less stress, I'm way less stressed out, I'm way less annoyed, and I feel happier. And so it's easier for me to manifest. Again, I feel like Spirit is talking about almost like the need to retreat a little bit, go into your own space, have your own time to discover your passion and to kind of like take a break from the world. And I feel like your home is really going to be your sanctuary. Of course, everyone's home is their sanctuary, but yours is really going to be that place. I feel like a lot of people will say like, oh my God, this is such a beautiful house, or oh, I would love to live here, or like, oh my God, you should rent this on Airbnb and you would make so much money, or stuff like that. Like, again, people are going to walk into your house and feel that vibe of like, oh my God, this is so relaxing. Some of you guys may not even invite a lot of people over because you really do treat it as your sanctuary and you're protective of it because you've, you know, made it really beautiful. But I feel like you guys are going to have one of those houses that people almost like use as inspo on, you know, Pinterest or on Instagram or on Tumblr or something. Some of you guys might have accounts where you're always looking at those kinds of things. And so I feel like being able to work on projects inside the house, you guys would enjoy that. You guys would enjoy like, okay, now I'm going to redo the extra bedroom, and okay, I'm going to use this paint swatch, and let me go shop for wallpaper. Like, you guys will really enjoy that. My mom is like that, and she was always, I'm getting like an image of me being dragged to look at like different slabs of marble, and I'm like, I just really don't care that much, to be honest. I I mean, I do like interior design, but I don't need to look at like marble for 5 hours, but maybe you guys will be like her and really enjoy that aspect of like picking out this, picking out that, okay, this. And so, I feel like that will be really gratifying for you guys, is just that process of making a house a home and having your own space. That's so important that we're getting, is like the openness, being able to be like, this is mine and I can relax and this is all of mine. So I feel like being around nature or being in a rural environment would help with that. So we also got key. I just shuffled these, frying pan and lobster. So there's this aspect of like high end. I'm getting with lobster, like, lobster and is like a high end expensive food, and I keep hearing like, oh, expensive, so expensive in my mind. I don't know. I just keep hearing someone saying that in like this voice. So I feel like you guys will have some kind of a bougie situation. And I don't think you guys should feel bad for that. Sometimes in the spiritual community, it's like, oh, so you're showing off. But you guys may have had to work for it, and it's like, that means a lot to you. There's something in there that's going to be gratifying for you. Maybe you've had a lot of people doubt you or say you're never going to achieve anything. So having like this beautiful place that you live will be like, excuse me, this is my prize. This is my message that I am special and I am worth something. You know what I mean? But I feel like it's just going to mean a lot to you to be able to have like a really beautiful house, a really beautiful space. And finally, we got caring connections and the garden and the gate. I feel like for a lot of you guys, I don't know, there's this emphasis on family or romantic partners, which I'm not really wanting to get into a lot because, like, it's not the point of the reading. But I do feel like many of you guys either are in a relationship or will be in a relationship. And so there's like this emphasis on you guys having this private space with your family and your loved ones that you care about so much. And it's almost like you're so protective of them, and it means so much to you that you guys have this house that's yours. It's like a beautiful house that no one else can intrude on. I feel like a lot of you guys will have like high-end security systems or just security systems where you guys are monitoring and you guys are not playing around with like, oh, whatever, the door's unlocked and it'll be fine. You guys are going to be protected because this is such a special space that you guys are creating. And I also feel like you guys will benefit from having a really beautiful kitchen space, a really beautiful space to be cooking. Like I'm seeing like a beautiful, bright, open kitchen or something with like an island, a kitchen island, which we also got island. But yeah, where you guys can cook and really just hang out in there and really just sit around and talk. Like, I don't know, this is not what I expected to come through, but I feel like this could happen in a bunch of different kind of environments. Like, I'm not getting a specific like desert, by the water, in the forest. I'm just getting rural or suburban, so not urban. So I feel like it needs to be somewhere where there is like land. So it could be the suburbs, as long as it's more of like a quiet neighborhood, or it could be rural. But it's just, I feel like I'm not getting a specific read of like, oh, it has to be by a lake or it has to be, in a mountain chalet or something. So let me get some more cards. I just wrote these before, so please don't judge my handwriting. I was like scribbling them furiously fast because I was on a bit of a time crunch with the readings, so don't judge my handwriting, please. But anyway, Spirit, where should pile 3 live? Where should pile 3 live? Oh my God. Lots of space. Okay, why is this so creepy? I swear, every time it gets the exact thing that I was talking about. And I mean, like, I know I've been doing this long enough and I shouldn't be so surprised, but I'm always like, oh my God, it creeps me out a little. But anyway, because I do have my eyes closed as well. So anyone who doubts this live shuffling thing, I mean, unless I was like Harry Houdini, I couldn't. But anyway, where should pile 3 live? Can we get more guidance? Old fashions, okay. Where should pile 3 live? Where would benefit them to live? What would benefit them to live? Okay, I put it back down. That was apartment. But I'm not connecting with that. Where should pile 3 live? House, okay. That's I'm connecting with. Where should pile 3 live? Mountains. Okay. Where should pile 3 live? Okay, I just got a bunch of these. I didn't mean to take a bunch, but we got lots of light, modern, and river. So yeah, again, I feel like with mountain and river, I feel like you guys, again, it doesn't matter. It's not like, okay, you have to live in a meadow, or you have to live on a mountain, or you have to live by a river, or in a rainforest, or whatever. Like it's just basically you guys should have space. That was the first card that came out, so it's going to be the most powerful, and I really feel like that's so important for you guys. I also feel like, again, it could be modern, old-fashioned. You guys are going to put your specific design style on it. But it's just like, I want you guys to have lots of space. Some people can live in like a tiny house or can make do in like a small environment, and it's totally cool with them. You know, I thought I had a studio apartment that was like small, and I thought I'd be totally cool with it. And then I was like going crazy because I was like, I don't have anywhere to work out. I need to have extra space. And I feel like that's you guys. You guys need to have that extra room or that extra space where you can just walk around walk around and feel free. You guys can walk around and, you know, not feel like you're just kind of hemmed in. So I feel like you guys are going to, if you can make this happen where you're living in a place where there is light, where there is this ability to decorate, I feel like that would be really awesome for you guys. And I just feel like the space thing, there needs to be space. I didn't expect this to come through in one of the readings, but if any of you guys are thinking about moving out to a rural or suburban area and getting more space, I feel like that would be key. And you guys would have like this glow up and be able to really focus on yourself. And I feel like there would be this inner peace that would happen. And also, I didn't mention, but there's an emphasis on like gardens. So maybe some of you guys like to garden, or you will find yourself gardening. But I just feel like you guys could create one of those really Instagram like perfect houses with like beautiful gardens, a beautiful kitchen. And it would just be like, everyone would be like, oh my God, they did such an amazing job. I would never have thought of this. So I really hope that helped you guys. Please let me know if it did in the comments. Let me know if it resonated, and make sure to like and subscribe and turn on those notifications. I post every few days, so make sure to subscribe if you want to see those. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next reading. I am sending you so much love and light, guys. Bye. Hey, pile 4. So if you guys picked this delicious looking burger, this is going to be your reading. It's just a beef burger, and then there's a sesame seed bun and a lot of mayo on this. It looks really good. It's super detailed, and they have like the super realistic lettuce. But anyway, let's get right into your reading, you guys. So we got the 10 of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, the 5 of Swords, the 4 of Swords, the Ace of Cups, the Hierophant, the Lovers reversed, and the High Priestess. So I feel like I'm getting like a little bit of an urban vibe with the 10 of Pentacles, but then again, I'm also seeing water here on the 5 of Swords, and of course the Ace of Cups. So I feel like for you guys, it may be living in like an urban environment near water. So that kind of a city, or that kind of a place, or maybe a super rainy city. If you guys have something like that in mind, like a place where it rains a lot. But I feel like this is going to be like somewhat urban, or a little bit also like old-fashioned urban, where, you know, there may be like old historical buildings, or it's been a city for a really long time, or there's like, you know, old cultural historical things. With the Hierophant, like there could be old buildings that, you know, are like cultural, like churches or cultural institutions, stuff like that, or old you know, office buildings, but like that were built a long time ago, or are from an industry that's like been around a long time, is very respected. So some kind of like old-fashioned vibe, I feel like, or where there are just like those old cultural opportunities, if that makes sense. And then combined with like a little bit of watery energy. So maybe it's a place that has a lot of fountains, or maybe a place that has a lot of rainfall per year, or like a heavy rainy season. I think for most of the world that rainy season will be happening right now. I know it is near me. There's a ton of rain and like storms, and they keep happening during my readings, although thankfully not today. But yeah, so it might be something like that, or directly on the ocean or by the ocean. So let's pull some of the other cards we got. We got the Eight of Cups, we got the Knight of Pentacles, Justice, we got the Two of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands, the Page of Cups, the Two of Wands, and the Dreamer. Oh my gosh, which is the Fool. So with Justice, again, there might be like old cultural buildings nearby. So like old courthouses or old museums. I'm just seeing kind of those kinds of buildings that like were built a long time ago, made out of marble, or, you know, where it took a lot of time with the construction and it was like beautiful old stone facades, stuff like that. I feel like that would be the kind of building that you guys would have. So, you know, back in the day, I feel like a lot of places, they put a lot of effort into like the architecture and stuff. Like, so I'm seeing kind of like those European style buildings, or they have them in other parts of the world, but I don't know what the word is for it, but more of like a classical type of building, not like super modern. You know what I mean? Kind of like this is also made of that, like that house in there that he's walking out of. It looks very old. It looks very ancient. So yeah, I feel like with you guys, you're going to be wanting to move somewhere that has those kinds of cultural institutions and stuff nearby. But then there's also this huge emphasis on water. So maybe this is a city that is like by the ocean, but has some of those old buildings. Maybe it's like somewhere in the south of France or in Italy, like along the Mediterranean coast or something like that. Or, you know, maybe it's some of the Asian cities that are by the ocean. I don't know which ones like are right directly on the ocean, but I know like places like Seoul in South Korea have like a really heavy rainy season or something like that. So it may be something where there is just a lot of rain, or somewhere like Singapore that has like a really beautiful like city center, but then they also have a ton of rain. So I'm not sure, but like there's this water aspect coming in super strong. So if you guys are considering moving to some place like this, then I would say that's definitely a like go ahead. I feel like you guys have this divide that I'm getting between you guys, where you guys are very, like, how do I describe this? Kind of intelligent, and it's like, I feel like you guys gain a lot from being in nature, but you'd also get bored if you fully lived in nature, where you were completely isolated out in like the country. You'd be like getting really bored. And you guys need to have like these cultural institutions, because you guys are like very curious about the world, and you get a lot of charge from that, and you guys get a lot of power from going to these different spots. So I feel like that would benefit you guys, is just to be in a place where you can have both, you know, where you can be on the water. And I don't know, maybe you guys just get recharged by water, because a lot of people are like that. I know for me, I love it when it's raining, pouring, not when the lights go out, but even then it's kind of okay. Like, I just think there's something about water that really soothes the human soul. So I feel like in particular with you guys, maybe you guys are water signs or something, although I could definitely see air sign energy coming in really strong. I'm feeling that for you guys as well. So water signs are Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, and air signs would be Gemini, Libra, and what's the last one? Aquarius. Yeah. So maybe you guys are those signs, but I feel like you guys will just be really enjoying some of the cultural activities that are going on. Like, we have fireworks here. Again, you know, I think fireworks come from Asia. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm totally off base, but I thought they came from Asia. So maybe you guys have been thinking about moving to like an Eastern Asian country where there, you know, is like a strong rainy season, which I'm not sure, but I think that happens in a lot of the places in Asia, in Eastern Asia. So maybe it's something like that, because I feel like a lot of those cities would fit this really strongly, and that's just coming to mind for me. But yeah, I feel like for you guys, you may want to move somewhere that just has a lot of cultural opportunities. that will really reinvigorate you guys. That like, you know, where there's like a festival, or there's like a food fair, or there is like, you know, a cultural heritage day for like a different country, different cultures, and you will be able to go and try different foods or some stuff like that. I feel like would really, you guys would love that. Or different, you know, exhibits at the museum. You guys would be really excited by that, about like learning. You guys would get a lot from that with like the dreamer. It's like you guys are just like ready to experience this world. You know what I mean? What I love about this is like that you guys can move back and forth between kind of like, having this natural aspect of being around the water, or being, because it's like strongly water. It's not so much like other types of nature. It's mostly just water. Although I do think many of you guys might enjoy going to like local botanical gardens or parks and stuff like that. But I feel like you guys will get this. I feel like a lot of you guys would have water in your chart with the High Priestess. I do think there's this aspect of you guys being a little bit psychic, and it's like you guys vacillate between like enjoying being around people and getting a lot of charge with that. And also you guys can handle yourself in groups of people. Like you guys aren't like, you know, blown away by someone lying about you. Like you can handle kind of if someone is being shady or whatever. Like you guys know how to handle yourselves socially very well. And I feel like you guys could run in the big city. Like you wouldn't be one of those people that's like, oh my God, I can't believe this person said that to me. You guys, I don't know, there's just this aspect where you're very adept at handling a lot of scenarios. So I think being in the city, while it would be like challenging for some, it would come very easily to you. And then, you know, you can maybe go to the seaside or something, or go to like a park nearby and ground yourself. So you're kind of feeding your psychic side, but also like that intellectual side that wants to have a lot of different, you know, interactions and a lot of different experiences in this life. So we also got hidden depths and pure intention. So hidden depths, there is water in this card as well. Pure intentions, it looks like she's out in the woodlands, which is what most of the cards on this deck are set in. So I don't take that one as strongly, just because this deck is overwhelmingly set in like the woods, because it's the fairy deck, so that's where the fairies live. But I feel like you guys, there's this water aspect, and you guys have a lot of layers to you with hidden depths. That's kind of what I'm picking up on, is like it's hard to describe your personality because there's a lot of duality. There's a lot of this psychic, empathic side, but also you guys having like this strong, tough side, because a lot of times you see it kind of either or. Like you see the psychic water signs who are just kind of like very easily affected by other people's energy, and then you see the people that are super like tough, but they're not very psychic. They're kind of turned that side of themselves off. And you guys have like a really great balance of like being very psychic, very able to tap into spirit, but also there's like a protectiveness, and I think that will serve you really well. It's almost like this is the perfect vibe for someone to have to really do well in a big city, but keep in touch with their inner spirit. Because a lot of us who are empathic, it's like we need to be away from the city. Just even if you love the city and you love everything it has to offer, it's like just the energy can be too overwhelming. But you guys have this beautiful natural protection where you can do both. You can do whatever you want. So good for you guys. So we also got peaks of joy, wide open, slow and steady, talisman, and storm field. So again, it might be like rainy season, or there might be a lot of rain near the places you're thinking of moving to. So I know also like England has a ton of rain, or, you know, Scotland, Ireland, so the UK. But I feel like there is just this aspect of water coming in really strong. Maybe you guys love rainstorms, or you just love living by the beach or by the ocean, but I just feel like there has to be this aspect. Even it could be like you live in a lot of Italian cities have a ton of fountains everywhere, you know? Maybe it's something like that, but there needs to be this water element in the town you're in. I feel like you guys are just open to the world and open to experiencing so many different things. And that's the thing, is I feel like where you live, it needs to be invigorating. You need to be able to explore all these different things and open your eyes to new areas and go different places and explore. There needs to be these new experiences that aren't just kind of like you know, you sitting at home. Some people can grow a lot just sitting, kind of like just being on their own, and like, I don't know, they just learn stuff, you know, but it's like you guys really need to be out there experiencing this world, learning so much, and you have so much natural protection that it's like, again, you just have the perfect vibe for it. You don't need to be worried about someone like shattering your heart, because there's so much strength within you that you guys have a natural aspect of protection. So it's like you guys are that person that can go out to a rave or to a, you know, crowded parade where there's everyone bumping up against you. And even though you are psychic, you're not going to be absorbing people like a sponge and just taking in whatever someone's filthy energy is. No offense to anyone, but it's like a lot of people may have, you know, lower vibrational fields, and you guys have a natural protection. So it's like that is going to steer you through really well. With Talisman, it talks about kind of following your path. And I feel like also with the High Priestess, a lot of you guys operate strongly based on intuition, where you plot your path based on like just a feeling that I should go there, or I should do that. And I'm hearing that that is going to serve you guys really well. So we also got the Three of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, the Five of Wands. Oh, okay. I don't know why I didn't pull those out earlier. They come from this deck. But anyway, you can see this lady looks like she's in an apartment building. So it's more of like an urban setting. And also there's like this old marble statue that she's carving. And that's definitely the vibe that I see of like the place you'll be living, is like there's, I don't know, like old art, or there's, you know, beautiful stuff from like hundreds of years ago. Kind of like that's the kind of statue you would expect to see in like an Italian city or an Italian plaza or a French plaza or something. But it could be, you know, it doesn't have to be those countries or just in Europe. It could be anywhere, but I feel like there's going to be this aspect of like public art or like a beautiful historical downtown or something, where there is like a historical aspect of like, oh my God, this is such a beautiful old archway that like someone made 100 or 200 years ago, or 400 years ago, however old, or this is a beautiful old temple that was built back then, or this is a beautiful church or mosque or whatever. So there's this aspect of you guys being around this beautiful history that will like open your eyes and invigorate you. So yeah. Also, and of course the Two of Swords is by the water. And I just think this one, the Five of Wands, is so funny. It's just like partying in the mirror. So I feel like you guys are going to have a good time and be surrounded by people that just kind of make you feel good. So we also got Journey, All Tied Up, Walking Away, and the World. So the World card is also on the water. All Tied Up is more in like, I don't know, a kind of rainforest type of setting. So again, with this emphasis on like, it could be like a tropical or humid type of city. Could be a city, I know there are of course a lot of cities in South America like Rio de Janeiro that are set in like rainforests. So if you're considering a move to somewhere like that, or again in Eastern Asia, where, you know, there is like a tropical aspect and then there's like the big city. And so I feel like that may be something that if one of those cities you've been thinking about, like, oh, I really want to move to, you know, I don't know, Kyoto, although I don't know if Kyoto is actually tropical, but, you know, I don't know. I know they have a lot of beautiful nature, but I feel like if there's like a tropical, humid, or rainy aspect to it, that is like a positive sign that that's someplace you want to go to. And then finally we got Whale, Breach, Stone People, Vigilance, DNA, Karma, Waterfall, Effortless, Fog, Veiled, Autumnal Equinox, Release, and Ocean, Ebb and Flow, which is like specific ocean. So there is this strong ocean water. I mean, Whale, Stone People, Ocean, Waterfall, Fog. I feel like a lot of these cities are going to have this aspect of fog, rain, mist. Just like you guys kind of like this, it shows up in this card as well, where she's like, it just looks like a misty kind of waterfall-y, or not waterfall, rainforesty kind of vibe. And I feel like that is like the kind of place, but then it's combined with this very urban aspect to it. So yeah, I feel like for you guys, there is this aspect of you guys just really enjoying life and like experiencing a lot of life. I feel like your guides want you to experience a lot and really enjoy yourselves, and not like, you guys aren't at the stage of like, okay, it's time to stay at home and kind of reflect and kind of just you know, think about my life or think about what I've experienced. It's like you guys are supposed to be out there, like experiencing things and really, you know, trying for like a new experience that is going to like open your eyes. So we also got bird flying and candle, and we also got rooster. So I feel like with this bird flying, it's more about you guys kind of opening your eyes and you guys, or opening your wings and flying, like you guys really experiencing life, really taking it all in and really just going for it. And with rooster, rooster is kind of about arrogance, but I feel like this is more about your guys' bravery. Like you guys are very brave and you guys know what you want, and you guys aren't going to be like taken in by a ton of negativity, you know what I mean? So it's like, again, with the natural protection. Yoke said feeling tied down or frustrated. I feel like that freedom, like the bird flying, the yoke is showing how much you guys really want that freedom. I feel like you guys would like to have kind of that opportunity to be in nature and then to go back into the urban setting. And like, I feel like the thing about being in an urban setting is it always feels like anything could happen. You could meet anyone, you could find a new restaurant, you could, you know, meet a new friend. It just seems like it's so open. And I feel like that is coming through for you guys, where you guys would, that's what is going to be so exciting for you about living in more of an urban place, is you guys crave that kind of freshness, that newness, that like, wow, anything could happen and I could meet anyone and my life could change and everything could transform. So also with candle, I feel like, again, I mentioned temples or old cathedrals, old churches, old cultural institutions. So again, I'm getting that like this is just something about the city you'll be living in, is there's cultural resources that will like open your eyes, and you guys will have so much fun exploring some of these like old cultural artifacts or, you know, museums and stuff like that, that will just open up your mind. Because, and I feel like you guys like to be stimulated mentally. You don't like to just sit around and like chill. So let me get some cards for pile 4, and please don't judge my handwriting. I did write this in like a super rush right before filming, so please don't judge my handwriting. It may not be that good looking, but anyway, can we get some cards for where should pile 4 live? Where should pile 4 live? So we got relaxing. Okay. Where should pile 4 live? Can we get a card for where pile 4 should live? What the heck? River, okay, water. Where should pile 4 live? House, water, okay, water. Yeah, I think the water aspect is really important. Where should pile 4 live? Where should pile 4 live? Quiet, okay. Where should pile 4 live? We got apartment. I kind of get more of an apartment vibe, although if you guys could afford a house, I feel like that would be great. I don't feel like it has to be a specific living situation, because I feel like for you guys, it's going to be more about, again, you guys being out there in the world. Like, it's not so much about, okay, you have to have this kind of a house decorated this way. Even though that's come through in a lot of the other readings, I'm not getting a specific read on like a type of house. I just feel like it's all about your surroundings. You guys are going to be like out there. You know, I've heard people say about like living in, okay, we got rural, but I feel like that's almost like a contrast. Lots of green, which I could definitely see based on, yeah, how much like rain makes green around you, and modern. So I don't know. I feel like, you know, what I've heard about like living in New York and other places is like, it doesn't even matter. People will say like, how could someone live in New York in such a small little place? And it's because like you're barely in your apartment. And I feel like that's the case with you guys, where it really doesn't matter the exact type of apartment you have or the exact type of furnishings or house. It really just matters the location of the city, because you guys are going to be out there experiencing things. You guys are going to be out there really, like, I feel like you guys will leave your apartment in the morning and not come back until nighttime. You know, you guys will be really like so involved in the world and so experiencing so many different things and so busy that it's like it really doesn't matter how you decorate it, because it's just not what's coming forward as like super important. So yeah, I think water is definitely the focus, and also it just being in some kind of an urban environment where there's a lot of cultural opportunities. I do feel like you guys are going to be busy. I don't so much know like why relaxing or quiet came out, but I just feel like, or rural, I don't know, sometimes that comes out as like a contrast to what you guys aren't going to be wanting. You know what I mean? Like that's like, that's just not the vibe for you guys. Like you guys, I feel like are going to be wanting some place where you guys have like that hustle and bustle of, you know, the morning where everyone's running off to work and there's like all the smell of coffee or whatever local food is your breakfast food in the air. And, you know, it's just like busy, busy, busy. I feel like you guys love that, and you guys will really love exploring those kinds of places. But for some of you, if you do want quiet and you could afford that financially, living near this city, I feel like that would be totally cool. I don't feel like, again, the home situation, I feel like it could vary for some of you. It may be living in a house next to this kind of a city, or living in an apartment right inside of it. But it's just like you have to be close enough where that can be how you spend your days, and you guys can be like, oh, there's a festival today. Okay, let's go to the park. You know what I mean? And it's not like, oh, okay, let's pack up the car and okay, let me, you know, okay, we'll have to drive 3 hours. Like it's going to be close enough where that can be a part of your daily life, if that makes sense. So yeah, I really hope that helped you guys. Please let me know if it did in the comments. I really love hearing your stories, hearing from you guys. So please let me know your thoughts. I am sending you guys so much love and light. I hope you guys have an amazing day, guys. Bye.